So what do you make of this news?
Well, I think basically it's understandable in the UK because they're basically approved it under emergency provisions, basically because of essentially the disastrous situation over there. And they've decided that the balance of risk is that they can go with having done as much of the evaluation of the vaccine as they can. So I totally understand that. And look, in terms of Australia, we're in a completely different position. So it's great because we'll be able to observe what happens. We've got time to sort ourselves out for a very new vaccine, which is quite amazing technology. And essentially, they'll essentially be test driving this new vaccine for us, and we'll get to make sure that everything goes to plan.
So the Brits are guinea pigs?
Well, in a funny sort of way, well, what normally happens with any medication and vaccine is it has to go through three major phases of trials. The last, which is the biggie, is where they tested on tens of thousands of people, which is what has just happened recently with all the major vaccines you've been hearing about. But there is this thing called a phase 4 of the evaluation of a medication, any medication or vaccine. And that's not this vaccine, it's anything, where essentially it goes out into the community and it's used much more widely. And, it's really then that you really get to see to make sure that if there's any sort of problems, to make sure that it works as well as they claim and that it will hopefully have much longer effects.
I'm picking up some reservations, Doctor, that perhaps things are moving a bit too fast.
Not really, because I think the thing is in medicine, you kind of have to balance risk versus benefit for anything that we do. Essentially, they have actually done a lot of the evaluations. They've been doing it ahead of time. It's like they've been doing a lot of pre-reading and assessment. But again, the thing I would like to say is that for Australia, we're in a great position because we've handled COVID so well. So thank you to all the authorities for doing that. It gives us time to watch this. And look, I think that on theoretical grounds, this vaccine is amazing in terms of the amazing new technology, but it also doesn't appear to have any major problems with it that we can see. So it is actually very likely we're on something very good.
Okay, so in your opinion, and the health minister in his statements already said that the timeline's not going to change. That was backed up by the Treasurer this morning, and even Catherine King just saying that she didn't believe that the timeline should change at the moment. Is it your belief that here in Australia things should remain as is? It shouldn't be sped up?
Definitely. Again, the UK is doing this under emergency provisions because the balance of risk in terms of the number of people dying from it is so great that the balance is reasonable to start this. I mean, we would do this for people who have like there's a new super cancer treatment that's new, and the balance of risk because so many people are dying, it's worthwhile just getting in there and starting it as early as possible. But Australia's in a different position. We've done so well. We're in summer. Hopefully we've got it contained for the next few months. It gives us a time to do the normal full evaluation and testing through the Therapeutic Goods Administration, and that'll give far greater confidence to everybody, and everybody can go, gee, it's a good vaccine and we can get on with it.
You get the sense that it is. I mean, what's your opinion of it? The fact that its efficacy rate, as you mentioned, 95% for Pfizer, Moderna not too far away as well, AstraZeneca not too far after that. It seems as though things are as good as they can be.
Oh, look, yeah, well, I think, I've been surprised, actually. We've done really well. We've never created a vaccine against a coronavirus before and have had so many being successful is fantastic. And as I said, this technology, which comes out of technology to treat cancer, actually, has been quite unbelievable, really, and is a template for the future. The thing is that we just need to make sure we go through the process because there are still a few unknowns. See, that the studies were really about whether people got sick from the vaccine. So it's 95% effective for not getting symptoms or getting sick. But what it doesn't actually show is, number one, whether you can still get it and still transmit it to other people. So it doesn't actually indicate whether you get into your body and then you pass it on. And it doesn't indicate, for example, how long the vaccine will last. And we don't have that data at the moment. So a lot of that stuff is worthwhile watching what happens in the UK and getting more information before. And we've got several other sort of horses in the race at the moment. So it's great that we can actually watch and see what happens here.
See what happens, yeah. Okay, just finally, there's some health alerts that are in place for some Sydney suburbs, Doctor. COVID has been detected in sewage. This has also been found in other parts of Australia as well. How worried should we be about that?
Well, look, I think Australia has to look. The AMA is really saying that we've got to be in a brace position for this. South Australia is a good example. Hadn't seen it for months. Bam, just get hit, and I think that really we are somewhat concerned about the complete relaxation of the restrictions at the moment because there's this roadmap for reopening for Christmas, and we understand we'd like to, but being sort of in a completely relaxed position opens us up, and really that the fact that it maybe is being picked up is of concern because if it's out there and people are completely relaxed, it's spreading fast, but also people are going to be less likely getting themselves tested and doing all the physical distancing and things like that. So no, we are very, very concerned about this, and please, Australians, do the right thing.
Well, I mean, just finally, I've got about 30 seconds left, but how much more prevalent does that suggest that COVID could be out there? We're spreading it without us even knowing it if it's being detected in sewage.
Well, it is considered. It's possible that it's from the overseas travellers coming back. It's possible that it's from possibly older. But having said that, I mean, the very serious concern is that it is actually out there and we don't know about it, and we're just sitting on a bit of a time bomb, which is kind of what happened in Victoria. So please, we can't let our guard down.